Hi everyone, I'm Remy. I'm a graduate student and I study skin biology. So before I got into my PhD program, I spent 2 years at a community college. Then I transferred to a public university for another 2.5 years. In today's video, I want to discuss the 5 things I learned from my own experience going to a community college that I think you should know about if you are planning to go to a community college or if you're currently attending one. I hope this video will help you navigate through community college and make the most out of your experience. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1. Everyone should try to apply for financial aid. So although community colleges don't cost as much to attend compared to four-year universities, they still cost around $1,000 to $3,000 a year. So if you can get financial aid from the government in the form of grant, which is the money you don't have to pay back, you should definitely get it. And make sure that you apply for financial aid every single year and turn in all of your required documents on time so you can get money to pay for classes. You can apply by going to fafsa.gov to fill out an application. Tip number 2, know which course is transferable and which one is not. If your ultimate goal is to transfer and get a bachelor degree, then you should check and then double check and then triple check whether the class you want to take is transferable. Otherwise, you'll need to retake that class at the four-year university, which wastes time and money. And sometimes it can delay your transfer if you haven't finished all core classes. So how do you check if the classes you took are transferable and which schools will even accept them? Here are the 2 websites I know that will do just that. The first one is transferology.com. This is a website that allows you to look up classes at community colleges and their equivalent at four-year universities. So after you log in, enter your current school, the semester you took the class, the department that the class is in, and add the class or classes using the blue-green arrow on the right. Once you're done adding the class, click on search for matches and voila, they're the equivalent courses. So if you live in California like I do, we have another system called assist.org. This website works a little differently from transferology.com as it doesn't allow you to look up transferability of individual courses. Rather, it lets you know which classes are required to transfer from a community college to a four-year institution for each major. Tip number 3, planning is key. So once you've enrolled at a community college, you probably realize that you might have to wait for a semester or even 2 before you can take a class that you really need to transfer or to graduate. And not being able to take the class that you need can delay your transfer and graduation timeline. So to minimize the impact of this problem, you can first check what other semester that the classes offer by looking through the schedule of classes from previous semester. Doing this will also give you the idea of who might be teaching that class too. Then you can also check for replacement classes at nearby community colleges if possible. This is especially helpful if your community college has sister campuses that share the same transcript. You can also find other classes that you need to transfer or to graduate in the general education categories that you have a higher chance of getting in and take those classes instead to build up more credits and push your registration window earlier. So after you've done these searches prior to your registration day, you should plan out different scenarios in which the classes you want to take are full. Then copy and paste the course codes from the class schedule onto a text document so you can quickly copy it onto your registration window. This helps cut down the time and error when you register. And remember, even 1 second during registration can make a difference. Tip number 4, don't lose hope if you're waitlisted for a class. People can still drop out of classes without penalty up until 1 to 2 weeks into a semester. So if you're waitlisted, especially if you're near the top of the waitlist, check your email at least 1 to 2 times a day to make sure you don't miss the deadline. If you still haven't gotten in a class yet once the semester starts, go to the first couple lectures for your waitlisted class anyway. Sometimes the professor will give out registration codes to waitlisted students who show up. This happens more often in lecture classes than in classes with lab associated, but show up to classes anyway, just in case someone drops out and there's a spot available. And if you end up getting a spot in the class, you don't want to miss out the first couple of lectures when you weren't there. Tip number 5. Check to see whether you can get an associate degree or associate degrees before you transfer. Usually, if you can get enough credits to transfer to a 4-year university and have finished your general education requirements, you're also likely qualified for an associate degree for your major. Although it's true that most employers probably won't care about your associate degree if your bachelor degree is in the same field, an associate degree gives you another line on the resume that might help you land a job before getting your bachelor's degree. Also, if you're interested in another subject aside from your major, and you have taken a few classes related to that subject, then you might as well check if you can get an additional associate degree. Tip number 6. Don't forget to have fun whenever you can. Going to community college can be stressful sometimes, but it's also a new journey and a new experience whether you're going to college for the first time or going back to school to get a better career. So it's important for you to find something fun to do. It can be volunteering at an animal shelter, taking an art class, or even a cooking class. And some classes taken for fun can be counted towards your general education requirements as well. I took a film study class that I had to watch classic American movies. That was the first time I saw Singing in the Rain, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, classes don't have to be so serious all the time. And finally, bonus tips number 7, getting research experience for science major. Here are the 2 options I know that can help you get more research experience while at a community college. Number 1 is a program supported by the National Institute of Health called Bridges to the Baccalaureate. This program pays students from community colleges who intend to pursue bachelor degree in the biomedical fields to do research at a partnering 4-year institution. The requirements to apply vary depending on your community college and the partnering university. I'll leave a link in the description box for you to check if your school participates in this program. I highly recommend applying for this program if you meet the requirements, since you can gain research experience and get monetary support at the same time. Option 2 is to volunteer at a 4-year university if you live near one and have the time to spare. Since many research labs need undergraduates to do basic research tasks like genotyping, tissue sectioning, and staining, you can probably ask to volunteer at one of the labs if you reach out to the PI or a lab member, whether it's a graduate student or a project scientist. It is possible that they will not take more students or they won't even reply to your email, but keep contacting different labs if you really want to pursue it. Now, if you can't do either of the above, it's okay. Just try to find a lab immediately right after you transfer. After all, I got into a PhD program with only 1.5 years of undergraduate research and 1 year of working at the biotech company. So just relax and try your best. That's all I have for today. I hope you find some of these tips helpful, and hopefully I didn't scare you out too much. If you have more tips on how to navigate community college, please leave it in the comment down below. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!